Hello. Come on in. We're gonna listen to this song here, and everybody get your cup of coffee. If I could speak this morning, I get this party rocking and rolling. That is how you do it. That is exactly how you do it. Welcome in, everybody. Today, good morning. We are doing our Sunday morning coffee chats today with a very special person. I appreciate you guys coming back because this is the end of this month and we have hit a milestone on this channel. It's incredible. I love hearing your guys' stories, and on top of that, today is kind of like a collection day where today we get to look at the past but also look to the future with Sweet Birdie. Her name is actually Megan, but she goes by Sweet Birdie here on TikTok if you guys have not yet followed her. But before we jump into today's show, so I went to this antique store yesterday and I spent a lot of money, and if you guys know me and my Betty White, look what I got. The Little Guide to Betty White. So I have been a big fan of Betty White all my life, but with this little book, if you guys remember, this actually came out, when was it? Just like a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And what it was that she was bringing the first lady of television and animal advocate and believer of entertainer. I absolutely love this. So I might have to bring some of this to the table next time that we do some of our coffee talks. I'm gonna have to pull out a quote because there's so many. Anyway, today we are going to be talking to an amazing person, and her name is Megan, and she has bring an amazing story to this table. So I'm gonna bring her in here as well for everybody. Share this out to all of your Elvis friends. I'm sure they're gonna want to hear about this because today we have an amazing story. Okay, let's bring this in here. Hello, girl. How are you?
Hi.
Oh my goodness! Look at your Elvis wall.
Yeah, I've got a lot.
I love it. Oh my goodness, you remind me of me with that Elvis wall.
Yeah, I'm in my Elvis room at the moment. So I've got quite a
Oh
bit.
my goodness. I love that. Oh, that is so cool. Oh my goodness. This is just too cool. We have an amazing guest today, you guys, to talk with us about the Elvis-sized room. I'm just going to say it because her room is completely top to bottom. She's got everything that glows, lights, sparkles. I can't wait to talk about this because we bring stories to life on this channel. I'm sure you've seen it, Megan, like last week with Laura, what was her name?
Lorraine Gibson, yeah.
Yes, she is beautiful lady, and I love that she got me connected to you because I have got to hear this story. She said, bring Kleenexes, you're going to want them. And I'm like, okay, I'm so into this. I got to hear it. So introduce yourselves and tell us how you got into this. I know that the story with your mother or grandmother will be coming later, but tell us just a surface level about how you got into Elvis.
So, I mean, I'd always heard about Elvis from my nan. My nan was a massive Elvis fan, so I'd always heard about it, and I've always heard people talking about him, but I never really, I heard about him, but I wasn't really that interested. I didn't really know much about him. So I went to see the film, and I know a lot of people sort of started to like him because of that. But I went to see the film, and I was like, oh, okay. I originally went because I liked Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay, Tom Hanks playing the Colonel, going to be an interesting mix. So I went to go see that, and I was like, I walked out of the cinema. I was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. And then it was my nan's birthday that was coming up. And I thought, okay, what to wear? I don't know what to get her. Something Elvis. So I got her an Elvis diamond art, and I spent 2 weeks just doing this diamond art, trying to get it all done because I left it to the last minute. So I'm literally day and night doing this diamond art to get it all ready. And then I gave it to my nan, and I thought, you know what? I was like, okay, let's have a look into Elvis. Let's see. And then it just went on from there. Just become a massive fan since then.
See, I'm the same with my grandma. My grandma and then my mom, like I told Lauren, me and my mom did the Elvis quiz show together. So that's how I kind of got into this whole Elvis thing. I mean, I've been a fan and I love the man since I was 12. So I don't know how old you are, but I've been a fan for 20 plus years, and I've grown with Elvis as he had. I mean, I don't look that old, but I'm in my 30s now, you guys. The older I get, the more I respect the man. Do you see that kind of how with your love of Elvis now? Do you respect?
I do, yeah. Like I say, I always heard of Elvis, and he was always there. His music was always there. And thinking back now, I'm like, Elvis was actually quite there a lot. You know, his music was always there. People always thought about it, and there's always references in films. Like, I'll go back and watch films now, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's Elvis. That's Elvis, like a poster or something. You didn't notice that until you become a fan. You're like, wait a minute, he's always been there.
What's your go-to song that you go to? Like, what's your Elvis song? I mean, I know it's hard for me to pick, but I always go to the 1969 album with Inherit the Wind or Stranger in My Own Hometown, some of them. What's your go-to era?
Yeah, I like his movie sort of songs. I know they don't great. I know they didn't do great, but I've got a soft spot for the movies. A big soft spot for them, yeah.
What's your favorite movie then?
Wild in the Country. I know he didn't sing a lot in it, but just his acting was amazing.
That's different because a lot of people like Live a Little, Love a Little, or like the old
Jailhouse Rock, King
yes, Jailhouse Rock, and I love Change of Habit. Don't get me wrong, I love Change of Habit. That's one of my favorite ones. But more importantly, I like the ones like Wild in the Country and maybe King Creole. Like I look at those two as like my very go-to Elvis like movies. I don't know, he did such a good job in the early days, and I love it. Roustabout, somebody said, yeah, so that's another good one. Like Roustabout, like the middle era of Elvis to me. It's like he's not young, he's not old, he's right in the middle with that, and I love that. But anyway, like let people know like about your grandmother or your mother. Who was it? Was it was your
my nan? Yes, my grandma. Yeah.
Let them know. Okay, so this is where I know you guys. I want her to tell us from the heart, because my grandma, I know when she's gonna pass. I have some Elvis stuff of hers already, and I'm gonna show you some stuff of mine as well. But tell us about your grandmother, because my grandmother, I can only imagine losing, who also was a big Elvis fan, just like yourself.
So my nan, she was a massive Elvis fan. She went to Graceland. She'd been to Graceland back in 2005. And my nan was one of them. She kept everything, and I mean everything, to the point she kept like her Graceland tickets. She saw Jailhouse Rock. She saw like a play version of it in the West End. I think it was a few months after, just around the time. She kept them. She kept everything. She stayed in the Heartbreak Hotel when she went to Memphis.
Yes, I did too. I love her. We talked about that last week. I love Heartbreak Hotel. Yes.
A leaflet, which I've actually got here. She collected.
Yes, there it is.
Got that. She collected, like she kept everything. I mean everything. And yeah, when she sadly passed, before she passed, she turned and said to everyone she wanted me to have her collection. And I was like, okay, you know, I was like,
yeah,
you know,
no,
I was very hesitant with whether you want to or not. And then no one else in the family was like a big Elvis fan, so I thought, okay, I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. Because I initially, when she said that, I was like, okay, because I've been in like a flat, and she'd only had a few Elvis things, a few pictures on the wall. She had like a few figures. So I thought, okay, it's not a lot. There's not a lot. And then when she passed and we was clearing out her things, there was like a unit, and there's like 4 drawers on this unit, and they were top to bottom full of Elvis stuff. Pictures, magazines. And then I realised there was loads and loads. In her wardrobe as well, there's like boxes, Elvis, records, DVDs.
Really? Wow.
So much. I did not realise there was that much.
Wow, that is incredible. See, that reminds me of my grandma. My grandma kept a lot of stuff from that era too. But how did your grandma get into Elvis? Was she, or was it like, how did she get?
She never told me like the story behind it. She never really. She just always like, she told me stories when she went to Graceland. She never really told me the story, but I'm presuming she was around that era. So my nan was born in 1944, so she grew up with him. So I think that's how she become a big fan of the families. She grew up with him.
That's how you do it. My grandma grew up with Elvis, but she also got in trouble because she was that era where she's like, you can't listen to Elvis. This is not for you. Go outside. Like Lorianne said, go outside and play. My grandma was like that too. She's like, I love Elvis, and I just got to hear listen. So I'm sure, by the way, your grandma sounds absolutely wonderful. Like, especially you keeping everything. I mean, that is the story in itself. So why did you want to continue it?
So I had all of this stuff, and I was like, do you know what, my nan, like some of this, like, I've got a picture on the wall that's over 30 years old that my nan has had for all these years, all the different houses she moved to. She had like this picture, and I'll show you actually. It's that one in the frame there. So it's that picture there, and she had it for over 30 years. And I was like, do you know what? I was like, she's had it in all of these houses. I was like, she's given the collection to me. I can't not do anything with it. You know, I was like, I can't just let it sit there, gather dust. I was like, I can't do that.
That's
So,
true.
yeah, I changed the whole room, put all of her collection up, and I was like, I can't just not do anything with it.
That is cool that you kept that picture, and that's the main one for show it again really quick. That is the main. Wow, I have not actually seen that, and I've been collecting for 20 years, and I haven't seen. Is it like velvet? Is that what it is, kind of?
So there was a story behind it. She told me when she worked with somebody. This guy apparently went into like a charity shop and he bought this like suitcase. And he didn't know what it was. Like apparently, but he liked this suitcase and he bought it. And he took it home and it wasn't until he opened it up that it was just this suitcase full of Elvis merchandise, posters, like limited edition posters, special posters. And he knew how much of like a diehard fan that my nan was, and he gave her that picture. And she's kept that picture all this time.
All that time. How cool is that?
Very old.
That is really cool. See, I already love this. I love this girl, and I like it already. See the story going, because my grandma and I were like this. We went to Graceland. I don't know. Did you go to Heartbreak with her at all, or was?
No. So I'm going to Graceland first time in November. I'm booked.
Okay,
for November.
so you've only okay. How many times did she come over here to go?
So my nan's only been. She went once, but she done the tour twice. So she was there for a week. She went twice. And when I go, I'm doing the tour. So I'm doing like the South tour. So I'm going to Atlanta, then I'm doing Nashville and Memphis as well. So I'm doing all of that bit. So it's about 9.5 hour flight.
Wow, 9.5 hours. That's crazy.
Wow. Going directly to Memphis is about 13, 14 hours.
Wow, that is crazy. But you know what? It's you guys. It's the diehard fans. I've already stated this. Hold on a second. This thing keeps dying on me. It's the diehard fans. I swear, because Elvis never made it over there. He never did. No, exactly. But it's the people who come all the way over there. Last time I was at Elvis Week, there was a lady from all the way from Argentina, and her and a group of 12 people come together and just fly over here. And I'm like, how many times have we done this? We've only done this like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, that's the diehard fans, and I loved it because he needed to get over there. He would have absolutely loved it. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff.
Though. You go to like sort of ETA shows over here, or even if you go to the exhibition in London, like I did, there was just fans all over the world. Like there's someone that I met that was from Norway, there's someone from Germany, and they was Ireland that travelled down, and you just meet all these different people, and especially for his birthday last year, not one that's just gone, one last year for the exhibition.
Yes,
so many people from like literally all over the world that just come to England to go to that exhibition.
Wow, and that's all the way in England. We haven't even had that yet over here. We're gonna get it. I hope sooner or later we're gonna get that, because I want to see what Lorianne was talking about with Lisa's shoes. I mean, did you see what she's talking about?
Yes,
was that
precious
or what?
So at the exhibition when I went, they had like a little cabinet, and it had Lisa's shoes. It had a jacket, I had a picture, and I had an album. Like a little photo album, and I was very lucky when I went on my 3rd visit. I'd done the curator event, so I had Angie there, Angie Marquez there, and she actually took out the book and she showed me, like she showed us in the group, the pictures of like inside of the book as well. So that was really, really cool. It was really it was pictures of Lisa like as a baby.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that, because I mean, I know that the book only does justice, but seeing those and seeing her little baby shoes, we didn't get to see this. See, I haven't been to Graceland since 2013, and that was like the last time I ever got a really chance to go. And there wasn't much Lisa stuff. Yeah, it was her playpen out back, and the swing set and that kind of stuff, but nothing really cute and adorable that you could almost like imagine her in. Because the playpen, you can imagine her and her dad playing out there, but her mostly, exactly. But it's the little shoes that her dad or Priscilla or somebody probably put on her. Oh my goodness, I just love it. So what else was at that exhibition? Thank you so much. What was?
There was so much there. There was stuff that you had his shoes, some of the shoes he wore that had like the crease in them. They had a lot of his outfits. They had like a whole section dedicated on his outfits. And Lorraine talks a lot about them, because when she goes on about all of these lovely suits, and they had like in the end they had like a room. They called it the Vegas room, and you walked in, and it's like an arch. And you walked in, and it was just all of his outfits. They had a sign like "Welcome to Las Vegas." You had his eagle suit there. You had his gold suit at the back. Then you had a little section for the 1968 comeback. You had that section there.
I need to see this. Where is this? I need to get.
London. It was closed. It finished in London. It was meant to be there for 3 months. Then they postponed it for an extra, I think, 3-4 months. And then they kept it because it was so popular and there were so many people that was traveling. So they kept it.
I would have loved it. I would have loved to have been there. I would have loved to come and see that. I hope they're going to, if from what Lorianne said, that they're going to bring it over here. I'm hoping. Please, we got to process. I need to see this. We're talking to Megan for the with about on Sunday morning coffee chats right now. She is bringing out the Elvis inner child in me right now because I love her stuff. So this part of the segment, I want to talk about the collection stuff. So as I've already mentioned, I've been collecting for 20 years, and I'm not a main collector like your grandma, but I'm pretty much up there. So being a collector, I'm going to show you some of my items really quick that are my favorites. So we have these little tiny t-shirts. Have you ever seen these?
I've never seen them. No.
Seen these? These are the cutest. So they're just little adhesives. They're my favorite, but this is also my second favorite. I bet your grandma has something kind of like this. It's an ornament.
Oh, and it's, okay, yeah.
I'm sure your grandma, because that's an old collectible item, but I'm sure what your grandma also has is this booklet right here.
Elvis Presley.
Yes, and it has every picture that you could imagine.
Yeah, she's got something similar in a box.
Yes, okay. So I've shown you mine. Let me see yours out of your grandma collection. What is your favorite items? I'm sure you picked out a few. Let me see what you got.
There are a few. I'll show you these ones. So these little.
Oh, you got ornaments too, like.
So yeah, these little ornaments. These ones are really like going back. They're really old.
Yes. Look at the one in the pink suit. I haven't seen that one in a hot minute. Look at our pink.
That one's a lovely one.
Wow,
that one was a charity one. That one was from the. Have you heard of the Bradford Exchange? So there's in the UK called the Bradford Exchange, and they do a lot of like collectible items. They do a lot of Elvis things as well. So I've got quite a few bits of them. I mean, there's so much. I mean, my nan had a very good sense of humour when it comes to Elvis, so she's got like a little cow.
Oh my goodness! Yes, I can see it with the little glasses. Yes. Okay, that's odd. That's like my little T-shirts. Okay, that's both. We both got something kind of odd in our collection. Oh my! I love that. That is with the sideburns, y'all. That is. Oh, I love that. Does it sing or anything?
It does. It does a dance. It's very old now. It don't really.
I have a hound dog over there that kind of sings. I love that.
Yeah, it does a dance.
That is adorable. Oh my goodness. Now,
He wasn't working, and I managed to get him working.
Oh, that is too cool. You know what? That is, she sounds like she's the coolest grandma you ever had because she's collecting some really cool stuff. I mean, like my grandma with these are her old ornaments. And I just had to carry the legacy on, you know what I mean? So like what? Yeah. So why again? Like go back to tell for the people who are just coming in. We're getting a few more friends that are coming in here. Why would you want to do continuing doing what your grandma was doing and basically kind of make a room dedicated to her? Why would you do that?
So I didn't want my nan's stuff to get like just put in a corner somewhere, just get forgotten about, anything like that. I didn't want that to kind of. She spent so long collecting these Elvis items. I wanted to display them for her. You know, she always said to me, she's like, oh, my Elvis items and all of this lot. And I was like, I need to display them. I need to do something. And I've recorded a video, actually, of when I done it, when I was putting together my unit, which is just there. And I was like, I need to like, video it. So I filmed it, videoed it, put it online, and I was like, wow, okay. So it blew up pretty quickly. But I couldn't have all this stuff that she left me just in the corner.
There's no way that you could.
I made a promise as well when I was in the flat. I said to my mom, I said to my family, I was like, you guys are trusting me with her Elvis collection. I feel very, very grateful. I was like, I will promise that I will look after this. So I made a promise to myself that day, and I made a promise to them. I was like, you're like mum, like my nan. She spent so long collecting this. I promise. So I made a promise that day that I'd look after it, and I keep it going. So
That's why I wanted to have talk to her, because this is interesting. My grandma and me went to Graceland. Me and my mom did the Elvis quiz show. I mean, Elvis, like Lorraine said last week, it runs in the family, and I wanted to continue this legacy, especially once the new young generation who came from the movie and saw the movie and were like, I love Austin Butler, but I also want to dive in to see who this Elvis Presley character was. Because for me, my first movie was Viva Las Vegas, and when I saw Viva Las Vegas, I was completely hooked. I was like, that's the man that I want to idolize. But then when I saw Austin do it, at first I grew up with Austin. I was like, I don't know if I've seen it on Disney Channel, that kind of thing, but seeing him do it, there's something about it. And having your grandma as a legacy to kind of look after. I mean, you've done this. How long has she been gone now?
She's been gone since last February, so it's just over a year.
Over a year she has been doing this. And are you hopefully you're just going to continue this, right? You're going to get more stuff.
I'm not stopping.
Awesome.
My Elvis room is expanding into my hallway now because I've got no room on the walls here. So I'm on the second landing, so I intend just to take over just the landing.
Yes, and make an Elvis house out of it. I literally want to make my house right here Elvis size. I'm working on it. I'm almost there. I'm getting to where she's gonna be because my Elvis wall is building. You have records on your wall? Because I got records on mine.
Yeah, I've got the single ones. My auntie actually bought them for me the other day.
Oh,
so
really?
They're very new, them ones. But I love the Christmas album. That one up there.
That's a good one.
Christmas album.
You like the Christmas album? I love that picture of him on that album. That he is just, I love that. That's so just casual, regular jumpsuit kind of thing. So what's your favorite record though, as far as like, is it Christmas music? Do you just stick with Christmas?
I like 1968 Comeback as well. That was always a special thing. My nan loved him in it. So there's a lot in this room that represents that sort of era of Elvis, like 1968. So the pictures, so like the ornaments, there are a lot of that. So I kind of got soft spot for that era. I quite like him in the 68.
Yes, I love that era too, with like his the black velvet suits that he wore, and then even the black leather. Both of those, ooh, those are gorgeous. I love that man in anything in general. But 68, it does have a sweet spot in my heart. I like that era too. But as I get older, I'm digging the 60s and the 70s because he's looking like a dad. He's getting out there. He's got the 68 special. What's like your favorite performance out of that? Because like Lorraine said last week, with a white jumpsuit and seeing him like an angel, what's your favorite?
That's the classic. To me, I like the bit where he's in his black leathers and he's sitting on the stage and he's performing Memories. I love that bit. And the reason I love that bit is because if you go to like these tribute shows, they make it so much like being like you're literally there watching Elvis. Yes. So on the stage, they'll invite you up, so you can literally go sit next to them and being so close to them, and that is why I love the Memories. Because you
love that about him, and that's
the shows. They're so interactive as well.
Yes, and they're so engaged to him right there. They're like, "Oh my goodness, this is like an angel singing to us." Because you see the women around him, and you see the way that these women are like enthralled to the way he's just sitting there. I mean, sitting. People don't even understand it. He didn't have to sit there. He could have sat on the chair on the stage, but he chose to sit by the fans.
He sat there with the audience. Yes.
Exactly. He wanted to be a part of the audience. Exactly. And this is another thing that I brought her up here because she loves ETAs. I do too. I'm a big ETA fan girl. I love it. So I didn't get a chance to see all your ETAs that you saw, but who have you seen in where you are? Like who's came over there?
So I've seen Beansy. I've seen him a few times. I've seen Sean Clush. Sean Clush was amazing. He was really good. Ben Thompson and Ben Portsmouth. So Ben Thompson, Ben Portsmouth.
Wow, they've all came over to where you are in the UK. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that they can do it. That they're doing a UK tour. These guys are incredible.
Really, the thing is, they're so popular over here as well. Like all the shows they go to are like always full, like sold out. They've got so many people going to them.
I haven't seen Sean Clush yet. Now, I have not seen him yet. He came to Elvis Week, but like I stated before and previously of these, I only had to leave early, so I didn't get a chance to see the entire week yet. So tell me about him. How is his show? Does he do like the full every decade like Dean or what?
So with Sean, he was actually on a show over here. I can't remember what it was. Like an Elvis tribute show he was, and he actually won it. So the fans voted for Sean. That's how he kind of got come about. And he was, if you watch, you can see the clips on YouTube.
I'll have to do this on you. Yes.
Yeah, you had Joe Esposito that was there, and he watched it and he said that it brought back memories, and it was actually like watching Elvis perform.
Really?
And Sean, I mean, I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Sean because he is incredible. You watch him and it's generally like watching Elvis. He mainly focuses on like the 70s era.
Okay.
But honestly, Sean is amazing.
And he's like a natural. And I've only saw one of him walking out on the stage and acting goofy and going back in. Then it was a Dean Z unplugged, and they were laughing and making jokes, and it was absolutely funny. He came out, he goes, "Thank you," and he goes, and he does like a bow, and he walks off the stage, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this man's got a sense of humor. But see, Dean like walks and talks it. Like that's also so. Does he? So I'm guessing Sean's just like that. Like in a way, it oozes from these people, right?
Yeah. I'd say Sean really good at catching Elvis's like sort of humor, especially throughout the 70s. He is incredible. You're literally sitting there watching it, and you're like, "This guy is this Elvis?" Like, it's literally, he's so good at it. If you ever get a chance to go see Sean Clash, I honestly recommend it because he's amazing.
I got to. One of these days, I got to go see this man. I've seen Dean now twice, and I love the man. He is incredible, but I don't know if you got a chance to see him unplugged. I didn't get a chance to see the actual, like, his Elvis era, I guess. I never got to see that. He was just unplugged, which meant that he had an acoustic guitar, and he played with Sean, Ben, it was, I can't think, Cody, and then Victor, and they all just played without their Elvis attire afterwards, and they do like a meet and greet. Well, I gave a fan, and people are going to be like, why did you give a fan? No, Dean Z commented on one of my videos when I had a fan that had a cat eye, and we both were making like that kind of face because the cat was making that too. So he comes out and he goes dun dun dun, and he starts his dance moves. So I made a video of like, oh my god, this guy is hot. Well, he saw that video and he liked it and commented and said the fan is incredible. So at Elvis Week, I gave him that fan, and it's
Dean's very interactive with the fans. Like when I got like my Elvis tattoo. When I got that,
you got an Elvis tattoo. Show us what is it?
So it's just I stand up straight.
Oh, stand up. Oh, okay, now I can see more. Oh wow, that is beautiful.
So I got that done after I went to see Dean. So I saw Dean back in January.
Really?
So after his show, I went and got that done, and he was doing 2 nights of where I went, and I went to the first night, and his backup singers went and got a tattoo of TCB,
Nice.
and I got my tattoo the next day, and the guy was like, "This is a weird coincidence." He's like, "I tattooed 4 people yesterday that had TCB," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "You've just tattooed Dean Z's backup singers." So he tattooed that, and I put a comment online, like I just posted a picture of it, and Dean actually just like put an emoji of a lightning bolt on it. So Dean is very interactive.
He is very interactive, and there's just so many ETAs that I didn't even know about. Like I told Lorraine last week, I was jaded by Elvis entertainers. Like I really was. I mean, the guy came out at a YMCA kind of building and just had lights flashing in a white suit, and I'm like, this is really corny. But then when I saw Dean and I saw the rest of these guys, it made sense why they want to do what they do, because they really do put their heart and soul in everything. I mean, even without the jumpsuits, Dean just was playing on the guitar. It was beautiful. And it's like he just wanted to show that he could play the guitar and have Victor singing next to him. And those two, they just sat around like a campfire. How many shows have you seen of Dean's? Is it just 1 or 2? Or
I've seen Dean twice. So I saw him when he done the Ultimate Elvis tour with Sean Clash and Ben Thompson. And then I went to see him on his own. That was back in January. And then I'm seeing him again in May. Again, he's doing the tour again with Sean Clash and Ben Thompson. So he's doing that again over here.
That's cool. How many times have you seen Sean?
I've seen once.
Once,
yeah.
Have you ever seen Cody DeNeo? Have you heard of him yet?
Cody's actually coming over here. He announced that he's doing a UK tour in October, but they haven't released the date yet.
Oh, really?
So we're all sitting there like we're like happy they're coming over, but we're like, we need dates. Don't just
sit on the edge of your seats. Yes, tell me. We need to know.
But they are coming over. They're coming over in October.
That's cool because Cody is amazing. Now he will sing "Hurt" and he will also sing "Bridge Over Troubled Water." But my all time favorite is the Unchained medley, and they did that. Cody, like I think he brought tears to the people's eyes. And when you see him, and I hope you guys get a chance to see him because he is incredible. Who's another ETA you might know that does all 3 decades? Is it only mainly Dean and a few?
It was Dean, Ben Portsmouth,
Ben-
done it.
Yes, that's right.
Ben Portsmouth was amazing. He sang songs that I haven't heard. Like he done Unchained Melody on the piano. He was incredible.
Is he the one who? Wait a minute. Wait a second. He's from England, right?
Yes, Ben Portsmouth is. Yeah.
Okay. He came over here, played like that song, something like rock and roll. Got like I love rock and roll or something like that. He can sing. I heard him. I was standing outside, and this was like inside the building. I could hear him ripping it, man. He sings good. So I didn't know that. Okay, sorry. I didn't know that was him.
He's got the humor. He's got the humor.
He does. He absolutely does. I want to go to their shows. I really do. Sean, especially now that I've heard it twice from you and another person who said, I got to go see Sean. Also, Ben doesn't even sound like Elvis. For the people who don't know what I'm talking about, he don't even sound like Elvis. He's got an accent. I got an accent. We all got accents, but he has a really strong English accent. But when he sings, holy moly, I heard him sing too, and he is another one. These ETAs don't have to look like Elvis. Do you agree with me like that? They don't just have to always look like Elvis. They may sound like him, but as long as they embody him, right?
Like his mannerisms and do that. That's why, honestly, if you get a chance, go see Sean. He is incredible. Like I say, there's that footage online where he actually won a TV show over here about an Elvis. Like,
and I did not know that either.
Joe Esposito, he was like tearing up. Because he said he reminded him, it was like watching Elvis. And you watch the performance.
Now that's on YouTube, right? Maybe we can see that.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that. And for people in here, you guys gotta we watch this because I did not know that. I was shown just like I said. Dean was the main one, but I want to see him on his own. All of them together are great, but I gotta see each of these guys on their own. I really do. There is so much that we have talked about with you, girl, and I absolutely love talking with you. It sucks that we have to wrap this up, but we gotta bring you back on here for sure. If you get more Elvis stuff, you got to come back on here and show us because I love your Elvis room. Show us again really quick. Somebody just like turn around, show us some of your Elvis stuff. So this is, just show it people. We got to see the room. This room is glorious. Look how much stuff she has dedicated just to the man. Wow, you got some collectible stuff.
Yep.
Wow. Oh my goodness, how much more can you fit in there? And I'm like, there's no way you can fit anymore, but I'm doing my own Elvis wall, so I understand. You can put more.
There's always room for Elvis. That always is. I've got space down there. I've got space up there. There's always room for Elvis.
You know what's my favorite is that you put those pictures above the door up there. Those pictures above the door is a great idea. I might have to.
Them two there are actually from Lorraine. I met Lorraine last year, and she this was when her book was coming out, and she was doing like the promotion for her book, and she signed it, and I've got her signature on like a little leaf.
Oh, she's awesome! I love her. I love her spirit and energy, and how she dedicates like the books so hard to Elvis Presley. And I see that. I was like, the picture looks familiar, but I don't know what it is. I just see it. I love that. So again, I just love this room. You know what? I got to come back and watch her. If you haven't seen her Elvis room, where can they follow you at? Where can they see you?
I'm mainly on TikTok. Just follow me on TikTok, SweetBirdy29.
You're only on TikTok. Okay, she's only there. She's going to show you guys the entire Elvis room and the entire life of encapsulating Elvis into your grandmother's life as well. Even though she's not here anymore, that's totally okay because she's in you. I see it. I've never even met her, and I'm starting to tear up by the end of this, you guys. I'm like, I don't want to cry, but I feel it in her. When I see you, like, I bet your grandmother was just the same as way, and I that's my grandmother, and I miss her too, so mine's only been gone 6 years. Oh, there you go. There she is. You got her right there. I got my grandmother right up there, just like looking over me as, yeah, I get you, girl. We've been there. I'm starting to... Anyway, before we get out of here, we always ask a staple question, and one of the questions is, what is your TCB that you have done that's influential in your life? And I see one thing that you have done. You've taken care of your business and your grandmother's business, but what is something that you want to take care of as far as your life? Like, what have you done? This is it.
I mean, I think you pretty much summed it up. Just making sure that I continue my nan's collection and continue everything that she left me, and keeping the memory of Elvis alive. It's crazy to think in a few years it's going to be 50 years since he passed, and people still speak about him today. And he was such an influence on everyone. I mean, he was an amazing guy, and he always feared that he'd be forgotten. He always feared, that was his fear. So just keeping the memory of Elvis alive.
Well, with people like you and me, we got to keep this spirit going. I mean, I'm going to put more pictures up, which is why we got this book out today. I'm going to be putting up pictures. I mean, I love it because Elvis has just got to continue his legacy. He was a man just like you and just like me, and nobody wants to really be forgotten when they go. And he didn't realize the magnitude that he had on not only your generation, my generation, your grandmothers, my moms, my grandmothers. We all have a way somehow in this world that Elvis connects us all. And as Lorraine said it best last week, it's generational, and we're going to take on the torch, right, girl? Me and you, we're going to...
Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
We're going to take on this torch, and I absolutely love it. So anyway, we're going to get out of here with our favorite song, as we all know. Anyway, thank you so much, Megan. You are generous so much for doing what you're doing, keeping your legacy alive. I love your story. You've got to come back here and explain and tell us again if you get any new Elvis content. So, hey, you got it. Girl, you got to come back. Anyway, thank you again. We love you so much. Thank you. And TCB for you. Well, I'm going to get her out of here, and we will end this in 2 seconds. And 1, 2, and 3. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Megan, Sweet Birdie on TikTok. You can go follow her. I absolutely love you guys. My grandma is looking down on us as well. You see already I'm getting red-eyed over here crying. Megan made an impact in me, and I love it. And I love that, we get to carry this torch on. And Megan, you're welcome back to come back anytime. We love you, girl. We love you guys. Hi, we love you. TCB guys, I'll see you next Sunday. We have an amazing April coming your way. TCB guys, love you.
Hi, my name is Sean Cloche from Pennsylvania, United States. To win the title of this competition would really be incredible. It's like a heavyweight championship belt.
I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every byway.
It gives me goosebumps and it gives me flashbacks from those days.
You can't get any better than that. You can't.
Sean did just perfect. And all his moves. And even looking back at the band, looking like at the voices, he used to do all the time, and all those little moves, he got it right down to the T.
Like you said there, George, Elvis was an effortless performer. Yes. And I think it was you, Susie, that said that that's what Sean brings to the show.
You nailed it. You just nailed it.